My name is Ann Ohm, and I am president of Harken, which is a voice technology company and also a founding member of the Hypervoice consortium. And I think my presentation is a little bit different today in that it doesn't actually, it's not about WebRTC, it's about Hypervoice, which is a complementary concept that's so powerful that Ericsson donated their demo space for me to be able to tell you about it today. So the Hypervoice consortium, of which we are a member, is a group of companies that see the value of voice itself. And that's not voice being translated into text. It's not voice telling a machine what to do. It is the complex information that is found within voice. What I say is one thing. How I say it is another. And this concept is really starting to take off. People are starting to recognize it. And as a matter of fact, our co-founders of the Hypervoice Consortium are Martin Geddes and Kelly Fitzsimmons. And they were named 2013 Speech Luminaries by Speech Technology Magazine for being able to articulate the power of Hypervoice. So, who in this room before today has heard about Hypervoice? Excellent. All right. So everybody else is saying, okay, great. What the heck is it? Tell me. All right. So Hypervoice. What is Hypervoice? Hypervoice is linking what you say to what you do. So for years and decades and centuries, we have been able to organize, search, store, and share text. And with technology today, we can do that same, all of those same things with voice, which has the power of adding a rich new data layer into the enterprise. So you think of hypertext. Hypertext is clicking to see something, seeing more information. Hypervoice is clicking to hear. When you see the words, "I have a dream," what do you hear? I bet most of you can actually hear Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. saying those words in your head. How he says it is so much more powerful than just seeing those words. And as I mentioned, this is starting to really take off, and as a matter of fact, Gartner just released a paper about the future of voice, and look what is in that mid to long term. Both Hypervoice and WebRTC are right next to each other. So they're not predicting that either one of them are going to be part of our everyday lives as pervasive as they might be, but these are both very important concepts that are coming up. And I really agree with what Joe said from Plantronics this morning. It is important to think of things in terms of evolution as opposed to revolution. So I'm going to give you a little bit about what we do with our flagship product, which is Voice Advantage, because it's a Hypervoice concept. So our Voice Advantage product is a video and phone interviewing tool. And in that space, Aberdeen Research has just recently come out in the recruitment space. It's one of the fastest growing recruitment technologies out there. So how does it work? Well, a recruiter records questions, and it works very much like recording a voicemail greeting. And later on, at a different time, candidates record their responses. Again, it feels familiar, like recording a voicemail message. The power of it is on the back end, which a web-based dashboard. And again, this is very much like any Hypervoice concept. The power is what you can do with those recordings afterwards, allowing recruiters to be able to collaborate and identify top talent so much faster than before. And what are the benefits of it? Well, recruiters can literally go through interviews 10 times faster and save up to 90% of their screening costs. And this is so powerful. We have, since 2009, conducted over 500,000 interviews on behalf of our global client base. So this is in place today. But that's not what I wanted to talk about for my little demo of why Hypervoice is important. For that, I want to go to the glamorous world of apartment rentals. So if I'm a landlord and I have a bunch of properties, and a tenant leaves, the easiest way for me to connect with new potential tenants is by posting my phone number out there. And then, can you imagine all the people who end up calling my number? You know, I don't have time to deal with the nut jobs that saw my phone number posted on a Craigslist. And by the way, this is an actual Craigslist posting that I found. So if you are in the market for a 3-bedroom in Milwaukee, you'll want to note the phone number and please leave a message with your name and number twice, slowly, so that we're able to get back to you. Just want you to have that. All right, so how do we help the landlord manage this whole process a little bit better? And the first of it is helping him manage inbound calls, right? Because when I get inbound calls, you know, there's some I want to take and there's some that I don't want to take, but I want to do that smartly. And so with our friends from Tropos using their Amici platform, I can identify if there is a call from someone I know. I can answer it, or it'll go to my regular voicemail because it's somebody in my contacts. If it's somebody that I don't have in my contacts, I can, because I know that I right now am trying to look for tenants, I can just have it go automatically to Voice Advantage and ask some very specific questions. Or maybe I'm pretty sure I recognize that phone number, so I'm just going to have it go to voicemail. I don't feel like picking it up. Or I think I know it is, so I'm going to answer it, and then, dang it, it's actually one of those pesky prospective tenants, and I don't really want to talk to them. So I explain to them nicely that, you know what, I'm going to transfer you over now to my voicemail that's going to allow you to answer some very specific questions about this. Here you go. And using some whisper technology, I'm able to get them over there very quickly, and I don't have to actually talk to them. So that's nice. That's really nice to be able to manage those phone calls as they come in. What's really important, though, is on the back end. Again, this is Hypervoice, so what's important is what is being said and how it's being said. So we take the very simple question of, when would you like to move in? I'm looking to get out of New York as soon as possible. I'd love to move in immediately. Well, that may be how it sounds, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you on the back end. This is our web-based dashboard, so I can look in and I can see what the status is of all the people who are in there. And let's look at Rod, and let's see what Rod has to say. Or not.
New York as soon as possible. I would love to move in.
All right, so we'll just do that again.
I'm looking to get out of New York as soon as possible. I would love to move in immediately.
So that's one way that someone might answer that, or it might be.
Yes, my kids.
Oops. Excuse me.
I am looking to get out of New York as soon as possible. I would love to move in immediately.
So how someone says those exact words is important. I mean, we do this for a reason, but you get a lot more information when you hear someone talk than just the words that they say. And, as it relates to WebRTC,
I'm looking to get out of New York as soon as possible. So ideally, I'd like to move in immediately.
So obviously there are video applications for this as well. So that is very brief. I have barely a minute left, but very briefly, what the concept of Hypervoice is about. It's about driving value to voice, and the importance of this is at the same time when WebRTC is it's a good thing, driving cost out. That's frightening to some because that's a revenue for them. And knowing that there are alternatives out there that can drive real value back into the calls that we make is very powerful. So that's me. Thank you.